Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Euroborosec, and in today's video we are going to begin our open source intelligence video series. And in this video series we are going to start from a beginner's perspective all the way through advanced OSINT. So if you're somebody who is interested in open source intelligence, then this is the right video for you. And before we begin this video, I would like us to start with some quick disclaimer. So remember that this video is for educational purposes only, and that all OSINT techniques discussed are meant to promote ethical research, cybersecurity awareness, and responsible intelligence practices. I believe that my viewers respect privacy, so do not use this information to harass, stalk, or dox other individual without their consent. And finally is that this video does not provide operational instructions for hacking, infiltration, surveillance, or any other unauthorized activities. This is the part where you promise me that you're not going to misuse any information that I'm going to share in this video and all the videos entire series. So the last thing I will require is if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our OSINT series. And if you have any question, drop them in the comment section below. So for those who are beginner, they will like to ask themselves, what is OSINT, or what is this open source intelligence? In short, open source intelligence is the practice of collecting and analyzing information from publicly available sources to produce useful insight. So the word here that I need you to underline is publicly available sources. So these are sources that are available, and what we do is we just get that information and we make useful insight out of it. What you need to know is that it does not involve hacking or illegal access. Everything comes from what anyone can legally view. That's why I told you underline the word publicly available sources. So we also need to talk about what is the intelligence life cycle. So we've known what OSINT is, where we are getting information from publicly available sources. Then we have to understand that there is a cycle called the intelligence life cycle. And the intelligent life cycle is the structured process used to collect, analyze, and deliver intelligence. And every intelligence agency, cybersecurity team, or OSINT analyst um, uses some version of this cycle. We will talk about some of the core stages of the intelligence life cycle. So some of the some of the core stages include, so we have 6 stages, and the first is planning and direction. So in planning and direction, we define what you need to know and set the goals. So we define what we want, and after planning and direction, we go to the collection. And in our entire video series, we will be much focused on the collection area, where we gather raw information from all available sources. So our entire video series will be gathered on the collection side. And then after that, there is the processing, where we clean, organize, and prepare the collected data. So we've planned and directed, we have collected the information, we process it. And then the next thing is analysis, where we interpret the information and turn it into actionable intelligence. And the fifth stage is dissemination, where we deliver the final intelligence to the decision makers. And the other thing is the final stage is the feedback, where we review result and refine the next cycle. So this is the 6 stages of the intelligence life cycle that you actually need to know. So would also before I talk about sock puppets account before we talk about before we talk about sock puppet accounts, I will also encourage you, if you're going to take this course in the long run, you should actually be having some good note-taking skills. You can use the traditional way of pen and paper. You can use softwares including a Notion, or any software that you feel, Cherry Tree, a software that you feel that you can actually keep notes. And also don't worry about the PowerPoint slides. I will share them on our Telegram channel. So there is a link in the link of our Telegram channel. I will leave the link and you can actually go get the slideshows as we progress. So the other thing I wanted us to talk about is before we continue with our OSINT investigation or OSINT collection is sock puppet account. So what is a sock puppet? A sock puppet refers to a fake online identity created deliberately to gather information, conduct investigation, or interact with targets without revealing your identity. So you might ask, why are we talking about sock puppets? So in short is that for us to collect intelligence, we actually need to create what is called sock puppet account. And what this sock puppet account helps us with is that they help us when we are conducting our intelligence or we are doing our collection of data or on publicly available sources. We don't want to be identified as us. So what we need is a fake profile. So maybe we want, when maybe we are stalking somebody on X or Facebook, we don't want to use our own Facebook account to stalk the individual, because Facebook has the tendency of alerting that a person A is your close friend, or person A has liked. So we don't want to do that. We want, when we collect information, especially from social media, we want to stay away from our real identity. So that is that's why we are talking about sock puppet account, where we need to create fake profile used for research, infiltration, or observation in a way that keeps your real identity hidden. And at the end of this video, I will actually leave you with a small assignment where you will go ahead and create some sock puppet accounts, and I will show you how to do that. So in terms of sock puppet accounts, there are some good resources that I have them here. You can go ahead and check them out. I will leave them in the description of this video. So these resources entails how you can actually create your sock account. And what we can do is we can look at some of the resources. So there is one of blog post by SecJuice. It's called The Art of Sock. So the Art of Sock basically is blog post talking about how people or adversaries such as APT, advanced persistent threats, use SOC to create during information warfare. And what this blog post talks about, it talks about what is the best way to use your SOC. It also talks about SOC hunters, people who hunt or look for SOC. And also it gives you the best practices on how to create your SOC. And the other thing about the Art of SOC is that they talk deeply about so they talk about interviewing some of the SOC hunters and some of the SOC hunters in basically the blog is talks about information warfare for SOC. This is one of the resources that I would like for you to go ahead and check it out. And then we have this beautiful post that I think it's archived right now. It's by Jake Cripps, and it says creating an effective sock puppet for OSINT investigation. And what Jake talks about mainly, he talks about some points on how to create a sock account. So you remember that if you want to go anonymous, you really need to risk, or it has to take you a lot of things. And what Jakes talks about, he talks about creating SOC account in two ways. You can create a SOC account, first SOC account for just observation. This is a SOC account that you use to check. You don't interact with people. But if we talk about the second method, which is the information warfare as a SOC account, where you will end up producing campaigns or target campaigns on a national scale, those are they have a process. You'll find there's a group where a group just is dedicated at creating the SOCs. And in the art of the sock, they say that you just can't create 2 month sock and just starts conducting campaigns. No, it doesn't work like that. People will notice that that is a sock account. And if you look at Jake's blog post, he talks about what are the best way to actually create this sock account. But this is the second method. This is creating a sock account for long-term methods. And you're going to use this account. You're going to start from this account from new. It has to be organic. You have to post real content. You have to avoid the AI and the, you know, he talks about a lot of things. That's why I just would like you to go ahead and check these resources. And some of the thing he talks about is that when you're creating those type of socks account that are going to be used in campaigns, he requires you to create a dedicated computer, encrypted email, banner phone, social media profile where your target is most active, a couple of different virtual machines. So this is a whole process. But in the case of our video series, we are just going to use and targeting. We're going to use some few. We don't need to go deep and buy a banner phone and buy those. No, we are just going to take, because we are learning for educational purposes only, and we just don't need that. And the other good resource is the process of setting up an anonymous sock puppet account. This is a good Reddit post by Garrett Mickley, and he talks about, using a fake name, using a fake avatar from this person doesn't exist, buying a banner credit card, from privacy.com. And you can see, if we go to fake name generator, this is a website that generates fake information that you can use as your avatar. So let me accept. We have the name here is Wandan MD Mix, and in the art of the sock, the author was encouraging, if you are going to have a sock for campaign purposes or for information warfare, he was saying that the best gender is for you to go with a female version, because men are easily gullible, and if they get a text from a female, it just grabs attention. So you can choose your gender. Let's see, I can choose a female, and I can choose the country that I want that a sock puppet account to be. If my target or my end campaign is going to be in the United States, then I'm going to choose United States and then generate that information. And then I'll get the name, I'll get the SSN, I'll get the phone number. So this is just fake information. And this is one way of generating that identity, that first identity, the name. And the other thing, you can use this person doesn't exist.com to find the profile picture of, or the avatar of this person, of your fake identity or your sock puppet. Remember that these days there is reverse image tools that if somebody just get a slight indication that this account is a socket, and maybe you've used images from online, they can just do a reverse image search, and then they can find. An example of this has been used from uh, the video series, I think Catfish, where the author will do that reverse image search and find out that the photos do not belong to the person that says they are the one, and then they end up contacting that person. So this person does not exist. Uses AI to generate images. Like this woman over here, we can use her as Catherine or Heremo, and this person doesn't exist anywhere in the world, and it looks realistic. So imagine you're going to use your sock puppet for information warfare in the future. So you start earlier and you keep on adding information. You can take Catherine, he works in a bank, he's a businesswoman. So you post about Catherine's lifestyle. So this is a whole process of creating the sock puppet accounts. But for our case, we are going to create sock puppet accounts for observations. So for interacting with individual. Maybe you want to look a profile picture of somebody that you are doing an OSINT investigation, and you don't want that person to think or be alerted by social media that somebody A has just viewed your profile. So you need to create a sock puppet account. If they look, they're like, I don't know this person. So for our sock puppet accounts, we are just going to use for investigative, for observation. We are not going to post. So we are going to use it in a mild way. But if you're going for the road of information warfare, then you have to create a avatar from the beginning. You have to give the avatar an identity. The person has to be authentic. He has to be real. So it involves a process. You can some In the art of the sock, they talk about having to create a sock for 6 months prior and adding information, and the day when you're going to use the sock puppet for informational campaign, which this occurs in a nationwide or in the national intelligence level. An example of this was in the 2016 Donald Trump election, where we saw campaigns on Hillary Clinton, and there was so much misinformation. So those were sock puppet accounts that were created years ago. And when the time came, maybe these sock puppet accounts had hundred or millions of followers. And then when they said something in the political realm, because your sock puppet has to have a personality, and maybe you've been talking about politics for the last 6 years, and people have been know that your information is true. When you come and use that sock puppet account for misinformation, imagine the people who will believe you. There are going to be many people. So that is the essence of creating a sock puppet account for information warfare. But for us, we are just going to create our sock puppet accounts for observation, so that when we do the OSINT, we do not actually directly come, it doesn't directly come back to us. And also we also saw the privacy.com. So what privacy.com, it gives you ban a credit card or credit card that doesn't trace back to you. So these are virtual cards that you deposit money, and once you deposit money, you can use them. And when they are used, when they get charged, they don't say that it is you who've used the account. So this is another layer of anonymity to, let's say you want to buy a burner phone and you don't want to use you can use cash, or you can use the virtual cards or crypto. So this is just information out there. So this is has been a wonderful introduction. I know maybe I've talked too much, but I wanted you guys to actually understand the entire phases of creating a sock puppet account. And in our next video, I think we will now go into the nitty-gritty of OSINT. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any question, you can text or write them in the comment section below. And if you really have deeper questions, you can actually hit me up on Telegram. And with that, I think I will see you on the next video.